Today the BMW is getting a really big upgrade thanks to BIMMERTECH because we're going from these to these. Actually, not even these. This is a Logic 7 speaker that I had lying around. Mine actually has the bass hi-fi system, so this is even nicer than what I've got now. But these BIMMERTECHs are something else. But let's take a closer look at these speakers and get to putting them all in there. So let's take a look at what we got here. Two beautiful boxes, one of which I actually tore because I'm an idiot, containing our speakers, and you could get one box or you might have two boxes depending on what you order because you can kind of mix and match components. You just want the front stage? You can do that. Do you want everything? You can do that. Do you have the bass system or the 11 speaker system or what have you? Hey, they've got stuff for pretty much whatever combination you want. And if they don't have it on their website, I'm sure you can get a hold of them and ask about it, and they will work with you. And undoing this with one hand is proving to be a challenge because the box fits together too well. There we go. Big reveal. Da-da-da-da. Speakers! And a card. Take a good look at your BIMMERTECH Alpha Ones, the most high-end speakers and ears for BMWs, and feel the quality rushing through every detail in the kit. There is a lot of words here from the CEO of BIMMERTECH. Nice people. Oh yeah, and a decal. It's just like Apple back in the days. But look at these speakers. We got some tweeters here. Looks like they are plastic dome tweeters. We've got some inline filter harnesses, and then we have the speakers themselves. And let me just get one of these out of here. These are all our mids, obviously. Some nice foam on the front, and I thought this was odd at first. I was like, why'd they put a big old piece of aluminum on there? And that's because this is a low-profile speaker. That's actually the magnet. The coil, I don't want to damage it, but if you push down, you can just barely see the coil is on the front here. I think that it's just the spider in the back, or maybe there's actually another motor in the back. Maybe this is like a dipole motor situation. But that's a way of getting, you know, a decent-sized motor in a low-profile package like this, and it does feel really well built. You got our two connections there. Like I said, foam on the front. Alpha One by BIMMERTECH on the back. Lots of nice spun aluminum to look at, and you can kind of tell the packaging here is modular. If you have a car that has more tweeters, there's, you know, space for them to put different sets of speakers in here. Very nice. Just got to make one piece of packaging, less wasteful that way. Let's take a look at the other box, which is a lot easier to open because I accidentally ruined it. I'm definitely going to keep these boxes around though. Alright. Same card again. Lots of mounting hardware, which is actually for the mids, I believe. Yeah, the spacers and stuff. I've had a look at the instructions already, and the instructions alone are absolutely fantastic. These are the underseat subwoofers, 8-inch subs, I believe. Again, spun metal, very nice. Good bit of heft to them, and overall looks very well made. You can see the spider there. Got some pretty generous power cables going to the motor in the center. Looks like it is a pressed fiber cone. Yeah, not bad, especially for a subwoofer that's under a seat. That'll get the job done nicely. Looks like this is, again, magnet, voice coil, low profile, so it's inside the cone itself, and yeah, just the spider in the back. Pretty well made, and I'm really excited to get these in the car. So I guess let's consult those excellent instructions and figure out what we should do first. I'm probably the first person to be in here. I love how this aluminum trim gets all dinged up from the, when you take your seatbelt off, it kind of thwacks over and hits this. So it just looks all covered in pock marks. I can't think of any decent way to fix that. Oh, nope, I'm not the first person in here. Someone's broken a clip. Gosh, it sure is awfully strange to be digging around one of these that hasn't been taken apart a billion times. Broke this clip here. Things of note, puddle lamp wire that kind of snakes along the inside of the door panel. watch out for that. This thing has all sorts of a crazy routing, but really all you do is you just pry here, then it just pulls out of the door handle. I love this so much. Such a nice design. You can also disconnect it from here, which I believe is actually what the BIMMERTECH instructions call for. So, you know, choose your own adventure there. There's a reason that I did it the way that I did that probably won't apply to anyone watching this video, but we'll get to that in a moment. Then over here, this is the speaker feed coming into the car. This goes to the mid. This goes to the light pipe, accent lighting, and this goes to all the window switches, and that's just a cam lock style like we're used to for radios and stuff. And then this filter goes up to the tweeter, which just comes right out now. And then there's some foam back there, so let's pull all that out, and then we can get... I kind of like this. This is a lot nicer than the E46. Already, I can tell, like, this is a much better built car than the E46. So now, let's just get our speaker out of here. Looks like, yep, same size. Cool. Just get to use the same tools for everything. I kind of love that. Let's see what a 100,000 mile speaker looks like. Oof. I mean, it's in good shape, but how depressing. Alright, now we get our BIMMERTECH and put it in here, except we don't, because we put it in that door card over there. That's right, you've all been bamboozled. I bought a red interior for my car, and that is what is going back in. That's why I took the cable off that way, because, well, the cable wasn't in the door panel for this one. So, let's put our BIMMERTECH speaker in here. This is an interior out of a 335 IS, so it is actual leather, and it is red. And I like all of that. Oh, I do have to transfer over my window switches and stuff though, so I'll do that real quick. I'm going off on a million tangents here, but my car had one of those silly projector things on the bottom, and you could get those as a dealer accessory, but this one doesn't have a BMW part number anywhere on it, so I don't think it's that. But look at that. That's how it projects the little puddle light BMW logo thing. Gross. I mean, I hate it. It's cute, but I hate it. Does this have a normal puddle lamp in it? Yes. Thank heavens. So this is where the R&D money really comes in, because this is something I don't really love BMW for, is their use of completely non-standard speaker sizes and mounting solutions here, and they're even such that you can't even really get adapters. So you end up really, your only choice becomes aftermarket solutions like BIMMERTECH, which is fine because they put in all of the effort to make sure that these things fit perfectly. So that includes these little spacers to compensate for the extra thick speaker cage. And just like that, foam makes a nice seal, and then it comes with long screws that fit just right. Look at that. Alright. And then we just tighten that down. And did they use the same fastener size as everything else? They sure did. That T20 continues to put in work. And that'll be tight in there. I think I oriented that correctly. I'm like 90% sure. Well, that is the mid all in there. Nice and tight. So now let's move on to the tweeter. Where did I put it? Somewhere. There it is. Tweeter. So I just went ahead and pried this foam out, and then there's the tweeter itself. Looks like we have some little locky tabs that I'll need to prise out with a mechanic screwdriver, and then that thing will be free, and we'll be ready to put in the new hotness. Nice. Oh, look at that. A10, 4 ohms. Beautiful. Well, I think there's a reason no one really shows this part on camera. You really can't show it on camera. There's a lot of prying. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 little tabs there, and then the speaker comes out, and there is the old silk, looks like a silk dome? I don't know. Yeah, silk dome next to this aluminum dome or titanium dome. I'm not sure. Metal dome. And that'll just snap right in here. It's got a little alignment tab. And again, I will need multiple hands. I figured out the secret. Put in this side first and then push this side. This catch here is extremely stiff. And now, this just goes right back in. This whole tweeter assembly seems to be held in mostly by the door card. There's this little clip here, this guy, that goes into a slot, and then this hooks around the edge. So it hooks, and then it pushes, and that's just kind of a little bit loose until the door card holds the rest in place. So let's go get the door card and start the reassembly process. Actually, first I need to go get my extra clips. You can order extra clips directly from BIMMERTECH. I definitely recommend doing that. I only broke one. I'm pretty pleased with that track record so far. Hi, Jake from the future here. Don't forget to put the included filter between the mid and the car itself, and maybe tape it up so that it doesn't rattle around. That'll keep you from having to take the doors off in the middle of the night, like I'm currently doing. Okay. Got our So on these connections from the tweeter, it does not matter which one goes where. Just plug them in. And now, this crazy train. Something please go in. There, okay, oh, there's one. All right, I can breathe now. There it is. Four screws, and this door's done. Ah, here they are. There's my screwdriver. Boy, that is red. I love it. 10% into this and the sun's already going down. This is going to be a multiple day endeavor because I have to do it out in the driveway because the coupe has such big doors, and I have to do it when it's nice out because otherwise all these plastic parts will shatter when I go to take things apart. Now it's time to just copy and paste that to the other side. I'm not going to film that because filming makes everything take 50% longer, and you just saw how it was done. If you don't opt to get new clips from BIMMERTECH when you do this, make sure that you get OEM clips from wherever you do source them from. I've done the aftermarket clip thing before. You're only saving a few cents and the quality is just not there. Your door panel will rattle. So OEM clips are definitely the move, with the little foam bits in them. The only real difference worth noting on this side is you got to take the melty door handle off. Once you get the trim panel off the bottom there, you just pry at the bottom of this and it pops out, and it takes way too much force. And then you've got a screw here, which is also a T20. A whole lot of those going around. Good morning, everyone. It's now the next day, and that means it's time to do the backs now that the fronts are done. So I already did one side. Well, at least I took it apart so that I was familiar. So now we can do the passenger side together, like friends. Honestly, this is an extremely easy car to work on. I'm having a pretty good time right now. The monkey paw just curled. Now we're going to be messing with airbag wires here. So step one is to undo the negative terminal of the battery. Step two is to grab a T50 and your favorite loosener of choice and go after these seat bolts. Seat all the way back. Lean the back of it forward. But I do love the big ugga-dugga for this. It does not care. I've had these seats out before, and I cared. They kind of sucked. Let's get the backs. So now the rears are done, we come down here, lift the seat, and
And there is our seat connector. And this guy works pretty simple. Just pull off to the side. There's a little tab over here, and then out it comes. And there is the tab that we pulled on that unlocks it. It's a sliding cam lock, pretty straightforward. And then we simply remove the seat. Simply destroy your back.
Subwoofers are Huckleberry, and it's right there. It's best if you vacuum around here before you do any of that. Or just vacuum in general. Ooh, money. A quarter. Neat. Oh no, I vacuumed it so well the subwoofer came right out. Or I just forgot to film it. Anyway, you do have to kind of peel this carpet back to get to the connector, and then the new one just goes. I don't know if I'm supposed to grab it by that. It's a very convenient handle though. Sits in at an angle, something like, what am I hanging up on? This carpet here. There we go, something like that. And then this connector goes in there. There's 4 screws around the perimeter. And that is one subwoofer installed. Tuck that back under there, and then our house-shaped grill sits on the top with 6 Phillip heads. Pretty darn straightforward. And removing the seat is pretty much the same process regardless of if you have power or manual or anything else. It's all the same plug, just with varying amount of pins populated. So I'm going to tighten that back down, and then we're going to yank the seat out of here and get at that side panel. This back seat is going to be a pretty familiar song and dance for most people. Just lift and pull. Oh. But boy. Is it in there? I worked out that trying to pop out that outside one first works the best, and then you can kind of get the inside one. And out she comes. Ooh. I haven't seen this coin before. Oh, it's got gum stuck to it. 20 euros. And a piece of gum. That is disgusting. I found a €1 piece under the other seat. I'll have to vacuum under here. Carpet made in the Czech Republic. So the next step here is to fold down the seat. And let's just there we go. Get that guy out of the way. And then here, right here, pull forward. And the top pops out. And then the rest of the side bolster just lifts out. And what you're doing is you're disconnecting this square shape from this square shape. And I've heard that it's easier to put it back in if you take this plastic out by, there's a release latch here, and then we're going to pop that back into our seat so that it has this to guide it back in. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now, this isn't necessary to install the speakers, but I'm actually taking these rear seats out all the way. So there's another T50 right here, just like the front seats. Yeah, impact is life. And I've already done the other side, so now there's some sort of slip joint going on here. That's what's happening. This small side is wiggling out of the big side. There we go. That was exhausting, and I'm going to regret it later. Alright, stop me if you've seen this one before. First we just get our trim piece out of the way. How did that break? Seriously. That was definitely already broken. Someone's been in here, and I got 2 more T20s. You can pretty much take this entire car apart with a T20 and a T50. At least the interior. It's pretty impressive. you'll actually want to peel forward this rubber door trim, since it locks this panel into place. And there's not really any, it's kind of held in place by that seat part, so there aren't really any clips back here, but we can get our fingers under here, and there's one. Whew. Wow! That put up a fight. It goes all the way up to under here. And out it comes. And then back here we've just got connection for the mid speaker. Pulls out pretty easy. And then a connection for the rear module, which also comes out pretty easy. It's just a pinch and pull. Oh yeah, and the third connection for the seatbelt handoff. And then we pull it out. Hey, look at that. I don't think any clips broke. Now, this is going to be a little different for me since I'm putting in a different side panel from a different car. So again, these are Logic 7 speakers, not the bass speakers that should be in my car, but process is the same. Unplug the tweeter. Same Torx T20s as everything else. Not going to reuse those. Another stock speaker just like the front, except this one's Logic 7. Connectors face this way. Oh, and I need the spacers and hardware. Spacer goes on like that on all three posts. And you just take the tweeter and plug it in here. Hey, she's in, and I transferred over my control module and also the tweeter. This kit doesn't come with a tweeter, and I think that's because this particular weird tweeter size is only found on the coupes, and it's in the back seat where you're not really going to hear it. And they probably just decided it doesn't really do all that much to warrant upgrading. I'm not sure, I can only speculate. But either way, I'm sure that this is going to make this rear stage sound great. So let's go ahead and pop this door panel back in the car. I just realized something. Okay, the sun is going away fast, and I have work tomorrow, so let's get this show on the road. I'm plugging in that main module and the handoff and the speaker, which plugs in to that filter. So I went and routed the filter all the way around the speaker. That way it's smushed in place and kept from rattling by this speaker mat, and then the wire can clip into its factory location. Now, a couple things to note here. First, that tab has to fit into a slot up there, which is very tricky, and then the whole front half of this has to fit into here. So you're balancing those two corners. Those are like your primary locating areas. I'm gonna give that a shot and get this panel back in and see if we can get my interior back together. There's no lights in here because the battery's still unhooked. So then the only other tricky part, put this little plastic guy right back in here. There we go. There we go. It's got the LeBron James package. Now all that's left to do is put the seats in, but that's going to be another video because, well, I'm going to have to add some wiring for the power seats. But that's the speakers all done, so... Whew! Next episode, after I have a few weeks to listen to these, we're going to see how they sound and how they stack up to the stock system. And we'll see if this was all worth it or not. Thanks for watching. Okay.